Great, great, great. We're moving on. We're not going to be too long. Great, 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 great. We're moving on. Blessed love. All right. I can't quite remember where we stopped with the Bible, but I know that Psalm 24 is very important to drive home the idea that the land belongs to Jah. It says, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So owing the Commonwealth, paying rent to each other because we're landlords. The whole point of it all is that Jah is saying that he's the landlord, and then from the beginning he says that he created us in his image, which means that next time you go to church and the preacher says that, say to your neighbor, neighbor, you are blessed, and you go around and say, neighbor, you are blessed. Say to your neighbor, "There." Don't waste time with that. You're wasting time. What you need to do is go there and say, neighbor, you're a landlord. Okay? Anytime you go to church and you look at your neighbor, neighbor, you're a landlord. Neighbor, you're a landlord. Because you're made in the image of the original landlord of all land on the earth. That type of understanding will begin to build the foundation for the type of egalitarian society that we need. Which frankly, don't let me get started. Don't let me get started with that. There are so many arguments to support what I just said. We don't have the time. That's why we're building schools. Okay? So that we can take time to elaborate on these. Let me move on. I'm going to move on because I'm trying to talk to all my people through addressing the president, Your Excellency, President Chakwera of Malawi, a cleric, a man of God. So these recommendations should be very welcome. Very welcome. So we're moving on from the Bible into the quantity theory of money. I'm very happy that out of neoclassical economics came something such as this, because it is probably the only thing that is just as valid in neoclassical economics as it is in classical economics. So we know we're dealing with a real principle. The quantity theory of money says that M times V equals P times Y. Okay? M being money, V being velocity, the amount of times that money exchanges hands, equals P, which is the price of goods, and then Y, which is the availability of goods or the goods themselves. Right? So that's what's supposed to create a balance, according to these theories. A principle is something that goes unchallenged no matter how much you challenge it. And this is a principle within the realm of economics to a certain... It is a principle. It is an equation. It is a valid equation. So since it is a valid equation, we know that within this equation, we can seek the type of justice that we're looking for without troubling ourselves with much else, without troubling ourselves with conflict, war, discrimination, race, slavery, and all those different things. Whatever we're looking for in terms of like fulfilling our needs can be found within the theory, quantity theory of money. And this is something which I have to stress as I speak to South Africans, and have to become much better at explaining to South Africans, because if we don't, we're in deep trouble, right? I just saw a documentary where I heard Rupert, oh my God, I forget his name. I said Johan Rupert's, the rich people from South Africa, the billionaire, the richest man in South Africa. And a lot of the things that he says were very wise, but not many people were able to meet him at the level that he's talking. Because most people don't know that everybody has a role to play within the quantity theory of money. And if you don't play that role, you create an imbalance. You need to be active. It is very much like democracy. If you don't vote, then you let people come to power who you might not want to come to power. You don't have an influence on who comes to power. So economics is just as demanding as politics in terms of like, play your role and you will get what you need out of this. So the way that we play the role is in the velocity of exchange. Many times when a disaster has happened, say for example 9/11 in New York, when that happened, one of the first things you saw after the disaster was Mayor Giuliani coming out to the New Yorkers and saying, go out, spend money, go to restaurants, go to films, keep moving, keep thing moving. That should give you the clue. That economy moves because you take money from out of your pocket, out of your bank, from under your mattress, and you go make it circulate. That's so important. That's the role that you play. That is the power of the people. People don't understand it. So the crucial thing is to understand that power and turn that power from spending into investing, because true power comes from investing. So that's the crucial turning point in order to bring around that balance that we're looking for. That is what many are the platforms for public participation that are created within what I call CCSR, Comprehensive Corporate Social Responsibility. That's where they come from. Okay? And we can elaborate on these more as we hold our festival. Every time that we have Zisakudusa festivals, we have lessons such as this, and where we go deeper into lessons such as this. Okay? So, we know that we need to get active within the velocity. It would be nice with questions. So what I shall do now is, before I go to the speech of His Majesty, is to assure the President, the leaders, all the leaders, in fact to assure everybody in Malawi, even the opposition, that it is for your benefit and for the benefit of yourself and the whole world and everybody else that you join Zisakuduse. Don't let it pass you by. Where does the idea of Zisakuduse come from as a problem? Where does this come from? It's like you go into class and what the teacher has said, you do not understand it. Many of the things that I've explained there is a okay? So, Zisakuduse, nzeru zimenezi. Okay? Zisakuduse. Our problem in Malawi with our economy is that we tend to forget that we actually are on a dual economy. We have two economies. Just like we have a dual mentality. We're functioning with this English-speaking mentality and the Chichewa-speaking mentality. So we are schizophrenic. Even our economy is schizophrenic. Now, if somebody is schizophrenic, it's very easy to take advantage of them. That's why we're poor. So let me just get deeper into, before I go deeper into that, let me get deeper into this. Our dual economies in Malawi, one is what I call the fuel economy, the petrol economy. And the other one is what I call the manpower economy. See, things are moving according to petrol. Petrol moving goods. Petrol moving tractors. Petrol moving airplanes. The price for petrol determines the price for everything else. Okay? That's one of them. Yet there are many people who move by foot, by bicycle. That's another economy. And all the time, the cars pass those with the bicycles. That's the point where I'm saying it's Zisakuduse. But at the same time, the one in the car drives past the person in the bicycle and does not recognize that there goes an economy. He only sees, there goes a man on a bicycle. Naenso Zamudusa. Okay. So he's also been dusad. The unfortunate thing is that the one who moves by the power, the manpower, has to buy goods according to the price set by the petrol power. And that imbalance is crucial to get rid of. Serious trouble in Malawi and in other countries like it. So what platforms of public participation